listen.
Listen, man, what's up? Thanks for coming through. Thanks for hanging out. Couple things, man. The Houston Rockets made me look stupid last night. Steph Curry made me look stupid last night. Jimmy Butler made me look stupid last night. And the Boston Celtics are unfortunately stacked and are unfortunately way too good and might be completely unbeatable. The only team that can take down the Boston Celtics is the Cleveland Cavaliers. Nobody on the West. It ain't happening. I know the Thunder won by 1,000,000 points yesterday. I don't care. It's frustrating. But the fact that Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown can shit the bed and the Celtics can still dominate pisses me right off, man. Let's look at my playoff bracket and see where we're at, man. Let's see where we're at. How bad is DJ Eastwood's playoff bracket? Shout out to everybody in here. Hit the like button for me one time. Be active in the chat. Michael, are you live streaming a Lakers game tomorrow? Nah, probably not, man. Because they got smoked game one. And I know playoff series are 7-game series and it can go up and down and it can be a roller coaster and energy can shift and momentum can shift. But the Lakers' problems is exactly what I expected. They don't have any size. They don't have any defense. They don't have any physicality. I don't like to judge a whole playoff series off of one game, but I don't see them winning that. The T-Wolves are too much size, too much physicality, rebounding, hustle, defense. Lakers don't have any of that, man. They got too many weak dudes that can't guard anybody on the team. But yeah, well, you said they'll win. All right, well. For your sake of being a Lakers fan, I hope you're right, man. And for my sake, because I picked them to go to the Western Conference Finals like a jackass. Here's where we're at, man. Thunder over Grizzlies, that was easy. That'll be a sweep. I don't know. There's just... The Grizzlies flat out do not have enough, I don't think, to even win a game. I mean, how do you lose a playoff game by 50? Holy shit. You know what I mean? Nuggets Clippers, I think we're going to stream game 2 tonight. It's going to be late, but that's a fun series. I had a lot of fun streaming game 1. I think we're going to stream game 2 on Playback TV and right here on YouTube and Twitch and Twitter and everywhere else. Rockets Warriors, man. I took the Rockets over the Warriors. And it was only one game. But I want to say this. The reason I took the Rockets over the Warriors may have been an emotional decision. Because in the final regular season matchup, the Rockets held Steph Curry to 3 points in 36 minutes. And I thought they would be able to, maybe they still can do that. In game 1, they did not do that. You know, I got to give Steph Curry so much credit because the Warriors don't have a lot outside of Steph. You know, of course, Jimmy steps up again. The play-in game, they combined for 70-something. They combined for 56 last night, so Jimmy steps up again. Playoff Jimmy Butler is a real thing. But I got to give so much credit to Steph Curry, man, because, like I said, that last regular season game, the Rockets threw the kitchen sink at him, and he struggled, and they held him to 3 points in 36 minutes. And he comes back like a week later in a playoff atmosphere and gives them boys work. Straight buckets all game long. You know? Amon Thompson, Dylan Brooks, Jalen Green, Fred VanVleet. Didn't matter who was on him. Gave them work. up and down the court, and just very, very Steph Curry moments and shots. The Rockets got it to 4 points in the final minutes, and he hit another ridiculous one, and they started turning the ball over, and they threw the game away. The third quarter, I was like, the Warriors probably going to make a run in the third quarter, probably going to put them away, right? They do exactly that. They make that run in the third quarter. They went up by 16? The Rockets actually climb all the way back and get it to under 10 points at the end of the third. So there's still a chance. They're fighting. But every time they made a run, Steph Curry made a ridiculous shot. It's not normal. If there's people not watching Steph Curry right now, you're missing out on once in a lifetime entertainment. He's 37 years old. He's not going to do this for very much longer, and he's the absolute best at doing it. As far as ridiculous shot making, he's the absolute best at doing it that's ever existed. You're witnessing history in real time. He did it again last night. Amen Thompson, hand in his face from the logo. Splash. Jalen Green on him. Shot clock running down. Dribbles to the right, falling out of bounds. Chucks it into the rafters. Splash. Absolutely ridiculous Steph Curry was. After getting shut down in the final regular season game against the Rockets, he comes out there and does magic basically with a hand in his face the whole time. I don't think the Rockets played physical enough. I don't think they forced over screens enough, And with Steph Curry, it's not like going under a normal screen. It's not like, oh, you went under the screen. You can't even hesitate and then try to get over the screen. You can't give him a millimeter of breathing room. The one from the logo with Amen Thompson's hand in his face, he just hesitated. It was a screen. It wasn't even a screen. It was a dribble handoff from Podziemski. He didn't even set a screen. You can't even hesitate on the dribble handoff. You have to see where Steph is, and you have to be on him before he gets the ball. And they didn't do it. And he gave him 31 and just made ridiculous shot after ridiculous shot. They're going to have to do what they did in that final regular season game, which is start doubling him at halftime, bro. Start a half court, bro. Start doubling him at half court. Make somebody else beat you. You have to. You have to make somebody else beat you. I think the Rockets can still win this series because they had a couple of guys that played like absolute scrubs, and it was still only a 10-point loss. And I think if you can make somebody else beat you. Now, look, game one, Steph Curry proved me wrong because I said the Rockets can slow him down, and he was like, watch this shit. If he does that for a whole series, then he just does that, and there's nothing you can do about it because it's Steph Curry. And if Steph Curry takes this Golden State Warriors team to the NBA playoffs or to the NBA finals, he took them to the NBA playoffs. What are you saying, Eastwood? If he takes this Golden State Warriors team to the NBA finals, we got to have a very difficult discussion. If Steph Curry takes this Golden State Warriors team to the NBA finals, we have to have a very difficult discussion. Because what you just saw in game one against a great defense was pure dominance. It was GOAT performance. If he continues to do that and takes this Warriors team to the finals, we have to have a very difficult discussion. I think the Rockets can win the series, but again, they're going to need to get up on Steph. They're going to need to basically face guard him the entire game. Do everything they can every second of every possession to try to not let him even touch the basketball and try to make somebody else beat you. But what Steph Curry did in game one was pure magic. And If he does it again, he does it again. It was against the Rockets, dude. Did you watch any basketball this year? Did you watch any basketball this season? Guy doesn't even know who the best defensive teams in the league are. Rockets not even considered an all-time elite team. Nothing related to GOAT discussion. I didn't say the Rockets are an all-time elite team. Shut the fuck up! What are you saying in the chat, bro? Listen. I think the Rockets can still win this series, but like I said, they gotta face guard Steph, make somebody else beat you. And they're going to need for Jalen Green to stop sucking. I thought this guy was supposed to be one of the young up-and-comers in the NBA. I thought this guy was supposed to do something. I thought this guy was he averaged, it's not like he averaged 30 or something, but he averaged 21 points per game in the regular season. 7. Jalen Green's first playoff game of his career. 7 points on 3 for 15 shooting, 0 for 4 from 3. And got torched by Steph Curry on the other end every time he was on an island with him. This guy was flat out terrible last night. And the Houston Rockets, this dude and Fred VanVleet combined for 7 for 37 or something crazy like that. So the fact that the Rockets got nothing from this bum, Fred VanVleet stunk up the joint, and they only lost by 10 with Steph Curry going absolutely nuclear, they can still win this series. Slow down Steph Curry a little bit and get more than 7 points from Jalen Green. Get a decent performance from Jalen Green and Fred VanVleet, and they can win the series. The other problem with the matchup is Jimmy Butler. And Jimmy Butler, playoff Jimmy Butler, man. He's too much. He's too much, man. The hustle plays, the offensive rebounds in the fourth quarter, the offensive rebounds in crunch time, the steals in crunch time, the stuff that doesn't show up on a stat sheet is what Jimmy Butler gives you. Then he wants to go and hit like dagger jump shots, which he's not really known for. Just a playoff riser, man. The guy had 5 steals. 25 points, 5 steals, 6 assists, 7 rebounds, 3 offensive rebounds. The Golden State Warriors had 14 steals. The Houston Rockets had 16 turnovers. So you get, lower the turnovers. Don't let a team get 11 steals on you. What was the steals number? 14 steals on you. Slow down Steph Curry a little bit, and you can win. Look, when you really look at it, yeah, Steph dropped 31, Jimmy dropped 25. When you really look at it, who else did something? Like scoring-wise. Podziemski gave you 14. Podziemski's not going to give you 14 every night. He's going to have some bad games. He was a plus 17, man. Wow. So really, a physical defensive battle. You held Golden State to 95. It's actually a good defensive performance. Even though Steph Curry made impossible shots that only Steph Curry can make. It's really, in the grand scheme of things, a good defensive performance to hold them to 95 points. You scored 85, dude. You scored 85 points in an NBA game in 2025. 85 points. Are you kidding me? I don't know, dude. Now that I look at it like that, the Rockets are going to need somebody to score points, man. You can't score 85 points. Şengün was the high scorer with 26. Who's going to score on this team? Fuck, I didn't think of that, man. Who's going to score on this team? Dylan Brooks? No. It's all up to... Dude. Why did I pick the Rockets to win this series? They can't score any points, man. It's all up to Jalen Green. And we're screwed, man. Look at Jalen Green's last 5 games. Look at this guy. Look at his last 5 games, man. 7, 2, 7, and 5. This guy hasn't scored more than 7 points in his last 5 games. Yeah, the Rockets are screwed. That's my new take on it. Never mind. They can't win the series. They are screwed. Because even if you slow down Steph Curry or slow down the rest of the team, you held them to 95 points. And you can't score. You scored 85. You're done. All these do is hate instead of shut the fuck up and acknowledge greatness. Shout out to the Warriors defense. What makes it so bad? Jonathan Kuminga hasn't played for a couple games, man. Yeah. I hate Houston, but I hate Warriors more. OKC versus Nuggets, Lakers versus Warrior, Boston versus Knicks, Cavs versus Pacers. What are you guys typing in the chat, bro? Y'all just typing random shit. Did Orlando score more than Houston? I don't think so. Orlando can't score either. Orlando can't score either, man. Orlando scored 86. We got a 2 playoff teams scoring 85 points and 86 points in a playoff game. So, yeah, I mean, I guess it's a long shot when I really look at it because the Rockets need Jalen Green to score points, and he sucks. They only lost by 10. We'll see game 2, man, but Steph Curry was incredible. Jimmy Butler was playoff Jimmy. That's pretty much the whole story. The Rockets can't score. Curry is the most overrated player in history. Wow. What are you guys, like 6 years old in here? Grizzlies also had 80 points. The Grizzlies got annihilated. Annihilated. What else we want to talk about, man? What else we want to talk about? Derek White. Derek White had 30 points, 4 rebounds, and 7 made 3-pointers in the Celtics' first playoff game. Now, we already established that Orlando's not going to have enough to beat Boston. Same situation with Houston. They can't score. They don't have enough guys to score. They just flat out don't. Paolo could go off for 50. Like Dwight Howard said the other night that who's going to stop Paolo? You don't have to stop Paolo when nobody else on the team can score. They're going to need 50 from Paolo and 75 from Franz Wagner to even come close. But the fact that Jason Tatum can stink up the joint and Jaylen Brown can stink up the joint and they can still dominate. You got 5 from Porzingis. Jason Tatum had 17 points. He was 8 for 22. 1 for 8 from 3. He was a plus 23, though. But the fact that Tatum can put up 17 on terrible percentages, Jaylen Brown can put up 16. Kristaps Porzingis can put up 5. And they can still dominate and win is not fair. It's not fair. And the NBA needs to disassemble the Boston Celtics. That's what needs to happen. The NBA needs to disassemble the Boston Celtics. They have too many good players. It's not fair. This is ruining the parity of the NBA. They have too many good players on the same team. They broke the system. The NBA needs to step in and disassemble the Boston Celtics. They have 5 All-Stars, man. Legitimately, if all of these guys were on different teams, they would all be All-Stars. Jason Tatum, Kristaps Porzingis, Drew Holiday, Derek White, Jaylen Brown. It's too many good players on the same team. The NBA needs to put a stop to it. Then you got Peyton Pritchard going off for 19 off the bench. God. I hate it so much, man. But it's fine. We knew the Magic weren't winning this series anyway. So, you know, like I said, the only hope is the Cleveland Cavaliers. The only hope is the Cleveland Cavaliers. So let Boston sweep the Orlando Magic. That's fine. We know they're not going to... The Magic don't stand a chance anyway. And we'll see what happens in the second round. Maybe it's the Knicks. Maybe it's the... Probably not the Pistons. The Pistons, the Rockets, and the Magic are all kind of the same situation. Barely snuck into the play. Well, the Rockets didn't barely sneak in. They were in the second seed in the West, but inexperienced, don't have enough scoring, aren't going to be able to get it done. Yeah. You're a casual. How long does it you to understand regular season stats don't matter? What you do on biggest stage when the light's the brightest. Why are you mad at me? I'm sitting here saying the Boston Celtics are unbeatable. I'm sitting here saying Steph Curry did magic last night. I'm literally sitting here saying these players performed on the biggest stage. And you're calling me a casual? What did I do? What the hell, man? Y'all woke up on the wrong side of the bed today? Y'all woke up on the wrong side of the bed today. Oh, you're arguing with 04 Billups? Well, he's just talking shit, bro. Is he the one that said Steph Curry's the most overrated player ever? This season, Cade is better than Curry? Listen to this. This is a 10-year-old kid. Stop responding to the 10-year-old kid. He's 10 years old. Leave him alone. He's 10 years old. He didn't go to bed on time last night. His mom yelled at him because he didn't do his homework. Leave him alone. Yeah, the NBA needs to disassemble the Boston Celtics, man. What else? The Cavs. Ty Jerome went off last night. Sixers legend Ty Jerome went off last night. This is our only hope. The Cavs. The Heat don't have a chance. We already know that. The Miami Heat are like... the Miami Heat right now kind of remind me of like the 2010 era 76ers with Iguodala and Drew Holiday, rookie Drew Holiday, when like they would sneak into the playoffs and then we would all convince ourselves that they actually have a shot at winning a playoff series, but we really knew they didn't. Right, that's the Miami Heat right now. Everybody knows they don't have enough to win a playoff series. Tyler Hero can you know, he can do whatever. He can drop 45 if he wants to. He was only at 21. He was 7 for 18. And in a playing game, he had 38 against the Hawks. But yeah, they don't. I mean, dude, another team? Who's going to score on this team? You know, Tyler Hero's not Michael Jordan. He's not going to get it done. So the Miami Heat don't stand a chance against the Cavs. That's going to be a sweep probably. I don't even see one game for the Miami Heat. The Cavs have way too much. Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell. Ty Jerome off the bench. I just shouted out the fact a couple days ago that Ty Jerome had 18 points off the bench. Do you guys know that the Sixers drafted Ty Jerome, right, in 2019? 28 off the bench for Ty Jerome? How do these teams find these types of players, man? Sixers can't find anybody like Ty Jerome. Actually, if Quentin Grimes is coming off the bench next season, maybe he's our Ty Jerome. 28 on 15 shots off the bench for Ty Jerome. Cavs are way too much for the Heat. That's a sweep. Our only hope for the Boston Celtics to get taken down is the Cleveland Cavaliers in the Eastern Conference Finals. That is our only hope. Yeah. And the Rockets are making me look stupid. I did say a while ago that I don't believe in the Houston Rockets because they're too inexperienced. Because when I witnessed the Rockets struggling with the Sixers, when the Sixers had nobody on the floor, the Rockets went down to the wire with them and starting fights on the court and getting technical fouls and all this stuff. They just came off as very immature to me, and they are. And so I should have never believed in the Houston Rockets in a playoff series yet. So, that's my bad right there, taking the Rockets over the Warriors, because after game one, it's looking like the Warriors are going to win that because the Rockets don't have enough scoring. Yeah. What else, man? What else? Anything Sixers related we could talk about? Any 5 Sixers thoughts, free agents to monitor? Oh, God. Do we really want to do who want? This is what gets me right now with the Sixers, man. If I was a Sixers beat reporter and my job was to wake up every day and write an article about the 76ers, I would quit. I can't, for the life of me, fathom a single person being interested in that title. Free agents to monitor this upcoming offseason. Who cares? All right, let's click on it and read it. You got me, Sixers Adam. You got me. A way too early preview of the sort of bargain hunting the Sixers may have to do in free agency this summer. Oh, my God. The sort of bargain hunting? Oh, my God. They're going to suck, dude. Well, look, Daryl Morey said, I'm going to build a younger, more athletic roster next season. How are you going to do that? You don't have any money. How are you going to do that? You don't have any money. Clint Capella, Trey Lyles, Alec Burks. This is what's going to fix the Sixers, man. We have Eric Gordon and Andre Drummond on player options. We'll be fine. Alec Burks and Trey Lyles are going to fix the Sixers, man. Precious Achua. Dante Exum. Oh, my God. Good God. Dante Exum. This is a terrible article, man. This is a terrible article. Let me get these Let me get these dudes out the chat real quick, man. Every time I look at the chat, it's the same two dudes arguing about the Detroit Pistons. Let me get these guys out the chat real quick. Yeah, Dante Exum. This is the article. Dante Exum, Precious Achua, Alec Burks, Trey Lyles, and Clint Capella. Yeah. Dante Exum is the guy that Yabu slammed in the EuroLeague fight. Oh, man. That is rich. All right, let's see if we can find anything else interesting that a Sixers reporter may have wrote. Why Sixers should pick Derek Queen? You guys, a lot of you guys have been talking about Derek Queen to me, and I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball, but Derek Queen doesn't come off to me as some kind of future cornerstone player. If he does, you come back to this clip and roast me for it. Why Sixers should draft Derek Queen, even if Joel Embiid is healthy. What is this? BVM Sports? As long as their selection remains in the top 6, the Sixers have a lottery pick in what many have dubbed a loaded draft class. Okay, are you gonna tell me why? Why Sixers should draft Derek Queen? Okay, Bleacher Report has the Sixers picking number 5. They secure long-term front court stability by taking Derek Queen. Read more at Fast Philly Sports. Okay. All right, let's hear why. Let's hear why they should draft Derek Queen. Queen was one of the top centers in the country, averaging 16 and 9 rebounds across 36 matchups at Maryland. He showed the potential of becoming a stretch big, knocking down a handful of threes in his freshman campaign. A handful of threes? Can I get a percentage? Queen is a player who could develop on a similar timeline as Jared McCain and potentially be just as impactful on day one. Dude, I watched his highlight clips. I didn't see some kind of otherworldly athleticism. I don't know. It's hard to tell, man. Guys, they could put up numbers against, finance students. Does that mean it translates directly to the NBA? Like, I don't know, but I don't think Derek Queen's a top 5 draft pick. I don't think Derek Queen's a top 5 draft pick. There's probably nothing really else to say on this show. Let's see if there's anything else over here. More news. Sixers year in review. Quentin Grimes shatters expectations after trade with free agency ahead. What prospects should Sixers consider if they have pick 5 or 6? Maluak. After a disastrous season, there's only one thing for the Sixers to do now, Andre Drummond says. What did he say? Is this Keith Pompey clickbaiting me right now? Keith, you better not be clickbaiting me, man. Andre Drummond said, I think it was an interesting season. A lot of things are out of control. We can't control injuries. We can't control guys not being available. Yes, you can. They're too old. I think it's a good thing because it doesn't. Everybody likes to make it sound like injuries are totally random when it's a 35-year-old player who's had 100 injuries throughout his career. Or Joel Embiid's instance, it's a 31-year-old player who's had a million injuries throughout his career. It's not like these are guys who are always healthy and they randomly got hurt. These are guys that always get hurt, and they got hurt again. You can control injuries by not paying old, injury-prone players. That's how you control injuries. You don't overpay guys that are past their prime who are prone to get injured. Andre Drummond said, I think it's a good thing because it doesn't get any worse than this. Well, I thought this last season when somebody told me, I thought this 2 seasons ago. I was like, well, it can't get any worse than this. You know, I don't know what they're going to do, but it can only go up from here. And somehow it went down. And the next offseason, somehow it went down. And now I feel the same way. I don't feel like it can get any worse. But somebody told me, don't worry. Right when you think it can't get worse, it can. Worse than you could possibly imagine. What did Andre Drummond say? I think that is the point we have to recover. Andre Drummond missed 42 games. Everybody get healthy, come back ready to play next. This is actually the plan. I'm looking forward to a great season. I know the guys that we brought in are ready to help us back on track again. That's really it. Disgusting. While athletic, Adem Bona is undersized for the position at 6'8". What? How tall is Adem Bona? Keith, I'm about to roast the hell out of you. Adem Bona is 6'10", 235. And Keith Pompey says, while athletic, Bona is undersized for the position at 6'8". Bro, you are a 76ers beat reporter. Your job is to write articles specifically about the Philadelphia 76ers. And not only do you not know how tall Adem Bona is or is not, you couldn't even Google it before you wrote this, and you were wrong about his height and his size. You didn't check to see if you were right or wrong, and then you came up with a whole paragraph about him being undersized, which he is not undersized. You're just wrong about it. What? How do you get Adem Bona's height incorrect and then write a whole paragraph about you being incorrect about his height? That's insane. He said he's 6'8". He's not 6'8". He's 6'10". Keith Pompey said, while athletic, Bona is undersized for the position at 6'8". That's flat out not true. That might be the worst Keith Pompey paragraph I have seen so far. Drummond, a 4-time rebounding champion, is the size of a more suitable backup. What? Did Keith Pompey watch a single 76ers game this season? First of all, Adem Bona is not 6'8", he's 6'10". Second of all, Drummond was absolutely horrendous last season at guarding the rim, at playing any type of defense, and even at rebounding. And now you're telling me Andre Drummond is a more suitable backup than Adem Bona only because you think Adem Bona is 6'8", which he's not. He's 6'10". You concluded that Adem Bona is undersized because you don't know how tall he is and you're wrong about it. Then you concluded that Drummond is a more suitable backup because he's bigger, but he's not bigger. You're just wrong about Adem Bona's height. Is there a proofreader at the Inquirer? There's not a proofreader, bro? There's nobody in the office? There's nobody in the office that was like, Keith, you're wrong about Adem Bona's height, and then you made up the fact that he's undersized, and you made up the fact that Andre Drummond is more suitable because he's bigger, because he's not. Nobody told me he was wrong? Wow. What is going on, man? Unbelievably horrendous take. Yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with me today, man. Thank you for joining me, listening to me ramble about how wrong my playoff bracket is, how the Houston Rockets are making me look stupid, how frustrated I am that the Boston Celtics are unfairly good and they need to be dismembered from the NBA. Dismembered? They need to be disassembled by the NBA because it's bad for business. And thank you for listening to me react to random 76ers writers. Oh yeah, we're streaming should we stream Knicks Pistons tonight? Or should we just do Clippers Nuggets at 10? I might do. We might be live for both of those games on Playback TV. So join me, playback.tv/runitbackphilly. And I posted on Instagram that I'm looking for people to mic up and join me on the show. I got a couple people that I work with all the time, like Mike Sports Vibes and NZ for 3 and RJ. But if you are interested in just watching NBA games and micing up and talking shit with me during the game, go to playback.tv/runitbackphilly, make an account, and join the stream.